Hello there. Today we're going to be diving into Star Wars continuity, and today we are going to be going after the main lightsaber colors in the Star Wars universe. Today we're going to be going after blue, green, yellow, red, purple, and white lightsabers, and maybe some of the more unconventional colors that are seen throughout the entirety of the Star Wars universe. So without further ado, here we go. First off, of course, we have blue lightsabers. Blue lightsabers are supposed to indicate the power of the Jedi Guardian, focusing more on martial skill combat and protecting the innocent. The primary role of the Jedi Guardian is supposed to be a warrior who focuses on physical training and lightsaber combat, with the symbolism representing justice, stability, duty, and basically protecting everything throughout the entirety of the galaxy as a Guardian would. Some individuals who wielded the blue lightsaber include Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, who fought on the main lines of the battlefields during the Clone Wars, utilizing their techniques and their fighting styles to fight just about everybody that they could face off against, with Anakin Skywalker facing off against Count Dooku on multiple occasions, and Obi-Wan Kenobi facing off against both General Grievous and Maul, using a defensive fighting style. Some other individuals include Luke Skywalker, who took up his father's lightsaber after being saved by Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine, and who used more of an offensive fighting style because he wasn't really that fine-tuned with the Force yet. Other individuals who used blue lightsabers were, of course, Ki-Adi-Mundi and Plo Koon, who were on the Jedi Council, Shakti, who was also on the Jedi Council for a time, Kanan Jarrus, Rey, and various other individuals throughout the entirety of the Jedi Order, with blue and, of course, green being some of the most common lightsaber blades that you can find in the entirety of the Jedi Order. Speaking of which, let's talk about green lightsabers. Green lightsabers belong to the Jedi Counselors, the scholarly Jedi who specialize in studying in the mysteries of the Force, acting as diplomats, seers, healers, and rather focusing on the Force itself rather than combat. They prioritize peaceful conflict resolution, often using meditation, empathy, and, if necessary, powerful Force abilities like telekinesis or mind control to gain or maintain galactic stability. Some of the key individuals that were Jedi Counselors were, of course, Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn, who served as Jedi Counselors and who were studying in the Force. Their focus was so deep and academic on spiritual understanding that they eventually became one with the Force, and Qui-Gon Jinn was actually training with the wills of the Force before being killed by Darth Maul, and he taught Yoda the ways of the Force to teach him how to become one with the Force, and did the same thing with Obi-Wan Kenobi later on down the line. Next up, of course, we are going to be talking about the wielders of the yellow lightsabers, and those are the Jedi Sentinels. The Jedi Sentinels, in Legends continuity at least, are a class of Jedi specialized in blending Force abilities with non-Force skills, like technology and security, using yellow blades to represent their balance. Other individuals who wielded yellow lightsabers were, of course, Asajj Ventress and Rey, and many of these individuals would basically go on to do whatever it is that they wanted to do, but the main individuals who utilized yellow lightsabers were the Sentinels themselves, who protected the entirety of the Jedi Temple. And a lot of these Jedi Sentinels were extremely versatile and were considered by some to be the most effective Jedi for complex, non-combatant missions. They were also a massive threat to the dark side, with their unique approach being capable to operate outside of traditional methods made them formidable, and with some lore suggesting that they were feared by Sidious, and also they were known for very secret operations outside of the Jedi Order, immersing themselves in civilian life and acting as instigators or at times vigilantes, but that's a story for another time. And of course, for purple, we have, well, just Mace Windu. Mace Windu is one of the rare special occasions where a Jedi would actually have the ability to use a purple lightsaber, symbolizing the light and the dark side of the Force, mixing a kind of blue and green of the Jedi Order with red for Sith. This suggests that the wielder is close to the dark side or utilizes forbidden techniques, such as Vapad. Vapad was a very secret technique that Mace Windu developed by himself, allowing him to harness dark side aggression without being consumed by it, and allowing him to reflect any dark side energy back to his opponent. And with the innate ability to basically just reflect any dark side energy back towards his opponent, that's how Mace Windu was able to defeat Palpatine, and that's how he was able to be a formidable adversary towards many of the other Sith and many of the other combatants that he fought against in the Clone Wars. And finally, there is the red lightsaber. Now, the red lightsaber back in Star Wars continuity, whenever Legends was around, was very simple. They were synthetic lightsaber crystals that could only be forged to be red if they were made specifically by the Sith, and there were a lot of them out there, considering that there were times where the Jedi and the Sith were going into multiple wars, so there could have been thousands of red Kyber crystals out there that were synthetic that had no ability to use the Force whatsoever. But of course, when Disney took over, they decided to create their newest idea, and that was Kyber crystal bleeding. The idea of Kyber crystal bleeding was extremely simple. A Sith Lord or a person affiliated with the dark side of the Force would use all of their negative emotions, drain it into a Kyber crystal until it turned red, thus bleeding the crystal and effectively torturing it until it submitted to the dark side of the Force. And it wouldn't be until somebody were to heal the crystal that it would change from red to white, and that's where we get our final color. The white Kyber crystals were a process of healing a bled Kyber crystal, and this has only been seen by Ahsoka Tano so far. Ahsoka Tano was able to defeat one of the Inquisitors, steal both of his lightsaber crystals, and effectively cure them or heal them, and turn them pure white, and that's the lightsaber crystals that she had been using throughout the entirety of the time she was a Jedi, or at least an outcast. But of course, there are also like two other rare Kyber crystals that we have to talk about, and that is of course the orange Kyber crystal that was utilized by Baylan Skoll, and the black Kyber crystal that was used by Tar Vizsla to create the Darksaber. Now, there are really no sources of information linking to any of these Kyber crystals and how rare they were. Basically, they were just utilized by these two individuals, and that's really just about it. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this content. Please make sure to hit that like button, follow, subscribe, do whatever it is that you guys want to do, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.